All right, good people, welcome back for another review of Atlanta, the final season. Talking about episode 4 tonight, Light Skinned It. We got the right episode right this week. We're gonna make sure we talk about the right episode. What you laughing at, man? What's so funny?
The title it sums up the episode so well.
Very much. I actually don't think it does because, man, this episode was very traumatizing to me. Any folks who know about how those Sunday services and Sunday adventures with your family can be. But in this episode, the family, as the synopsis says, my family is so crazy. We all need our own reality show. How you still got beef from the 70s. Woo. And y'all need to stop flirting with people's daddy. But yeah, this is episode 4, Light Skinned It, the final season of Atlanta. This episode was completely hilarious again, and like no bullshit. Like this is so traumatizing because like so much of this is so real, so authentic. And I know there's gonna be a lot of folks that's probably just gonna just laugh this entire time to the point that I'm not even sure if there's even a message in this episode. I think this was just pure Atlanta at its best. It's pure Atlanta from the first season.
Right.
But I loved it though. It was a good time. What'd you think about this episode?
Like you said, it's so real and it's so reflective of not only people's real relationships with their families, but just like I think this also gives they're fleshing out characters a little bit more that we didn't get to previously see in seasons. As I was saying, like characters in this season, you're getting a little bit more insight of stuff like that. But this is definitely a real inside of the Ern's head episode or Ern's family.
Yeah. It's the regular routine. It's Sunday. Mom Duke says it's time for church, so that means he needs to come over for it. Dad is in retirement mode, so he ain't going. And like it's funny because like the look in the very beginning was him looking like, well, why do I have to go? And he doesn't. And
He
got something to do. And it's just like he got to go to the mall to get a phone. That's why he can't go to church. I mean, it's funny, and if you know, you know. But that's just the beginning of the adventure. And so many different things. There's so many tidbits in this episode that I know folks are going to gravitate to more so than another. So definitely in the comments, let us know your favorite parts, your funniest parts of this episode. Because there's so many of them, and I'll talk about mine when we get there. But yeah, at that point, her mom's like, look, we're not taking your car. We're going to take her car. His car is whatever reason, because it's endless excuse as to why, you
didn't want him driving.
Exactly. That's how I'm going to get at. Why parents do not want you driving. It's any excuse in the world. And also it's because, and they didn't really give her this, but I also been through this too, because they also feel that they have the best route when it comes to church. Like the parents feel like they're going to get you to church faster than anybody else. And maybe that's the part in the episode where she almost hit somebody because she's just like, I'm getting here by any means necessary. I don't care who's in the way, who's on the road, whatever it may be. But it also is funny because Ern the entire time is like, man, can we just stop and get some food? Been there. That ain't happening. Ain't nothing stopping your folks from getting to church on time. And as he's like, can we get some food? Like, oh, we gotta pick up this, and that. Gotta pick up what's Auntie
Jean?
Auntie Jean, Auntie Jean and Grandpa. And that's what it is. And then he asks us for food again. And of course she says what I knew she was going to say. Hey, baby, reach in that purse and get you some either peppermints or some cough drops. That'll fill you up.
Yeah, that's going to hold you down for 8 hours.
Yep, Sunday candy, man. And listen, they didn't show it, but if they did show it, best believe that it was going to be very much sticky. It was going to be, the wrapper was going to be crumbling. It was going to be one of the, but they didn't give us all that. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, they do have butterscotch. I don't eat that shit at all.
Those Werthers.
Sunday candy. That would have been so funny if they would have let her pull out the Ziploc bag with all the candy. I would have died. But anyway, it was also funny because when he was also like thinking about like why his dad doesn't have to go to church and he was busy. It was also because they also avoided the idea that like if he would have asked them, he would have got lectured in terms of like inform your daddy stay in your place. I gotta do what I gotta do, making it a big deal why he can't go. But it is what it is. It's always church and a drama. It's almost always drama in the church. Church and drama are one and the same. And then you add the family. And if it ain't church folks talking about, and let me be clear, there's church folks and there's church folks. And there's a slight difference in the Tony there. But best believe those church folks are going to talk about one another. They didn't give us that, but you can tell they were hinting at some of the drama brewing up in there. And I almost thought they were going to have his mom sitting in the front pier with the big cat, be one of the big cat ladies. I guess he decided to go nice on her. He didn't want to expose himself too much here. But yeah, this is where they get dropped off, and then Mama zooms off.
She said she was gonna do.
Yes, she did, because she gonna get her dad back. That's if there was one thing she gonna do. She gonna get her dad back. If there's two things she gonna do, she gonna get on church on time, which she did, and she gonna get her dad back. They said maybe she parked in an overflow lot, which is hilarious.
She got the handicap pass.
Yeah. So what was you thinking about everything so far, man? So much happened in like the first 5-10 minutes.
Just the as somebody that also came from a religious background and being forced to go to wherever you were gonna go on Sunday, and you see your dad staying home, you ain't gotta go. I've dealt with that, man. Like, your favorite cartoons come on that Saturday or whatever you had to do. You wanted to stay, you didn't get to eat till God knows when, you're starving all day. But just the conversation just between the mom and her talking about her siblings, you know what I mean? Like, and her talking about her sibling and their relationship with their father, and just the plot of what she was going to do. She said it in jest, and then she was like, "No, I'm dead serious." It didn't get real until Aaron looked through the window at her and then just zoomed on. Like that was the part. Like, I was like, oh man, she was serious. Like, and we get a little bit more, like I said, more deeper into Aaron's family history, because we've only seen them in like one other episode. I think maybe in like season 1, maybe like where Lottie came to the house, I think. But other than that, we haven't seen them since, like, for real, like, because the story's been so focused on their kind of like growth and stuff like that, as far as like the music industry and stuff like that. But it's nice to get a little bit more insight as to what's going on here with his mom and dad.
Yeah,
dad's like, I look, it's my time. I'm out.
Oh man. Last thing I want to say is when Auntie Genie caught her trying to leave out the back of the church. She's like, listen, I know when somebody up to something. I watch Criminal Minds. I died. I could not stop laughing. She says, well, I could go to the studio. I got to meet up with Al. I'm going to the studio too. And I just bust out laughing. But focusing on his dad. His dad's in full blown retirement. He's in the retirement fit. He's going. Yep. He goes to the mall where everybody's in church, and he going to get his phone. He got his overly absurd, outdated Bluetooth, because that's what all pops gotta have. He got to have his linen on, don't matter what. He didn't have his Jesus sandals, but he was close to him, But it was funny because, like, he living his best life. He not being bothered in the mall. Everybody trying to talk to him, trying to sell something, and then this is the funniest part of maybe all things I've seen on Atlanta, when she charmed him with the Congo hat to stop him, because he at first was just like, I'm not messing with that. I'm good. I got somewhere to go. But you try to tell me that there's one thing that a retired dad could not pass up is a hat, a fedora or a Congo hat. I, to the utmost, 1,000% agree with this here. This was the funniest thing in the world. And I knew he was going to pick the most absurd hat. And when they showed the first hat, I was like, oh, that's one color. He ain't picking that. They showed the second, which I was like, oh, they're going to a fedora. Okay, that's still one color. And when she said she had the special hat, and that joint had the feather on it, and it had the cross on it. I said, "Oh, my man is in heaven right now." And sure enough, he had to purchase it. He knew he was the shit. He was getting flirted on by the young chick, so his ego boosted. You know, he got the hat to top it off. It's a special hat. Hey, baby, I don't want you to get in trouble, nothing like that. You know, he was in cloud nine, bro. I can't even laugh now. It was so funny because I knew it's
her hand on his shoulder and just sold it. He was like, "I'm not here to buy nothing."
Yeah,
I'm trying to be out. I got a little bit of time. I can't speak. Like, that's the goal. I can't buy nothing right now.
I knew he was not going. There's no way in the world he's going to pass up one of those hats. I knew it. When they showed how he looked back, that had to be the funniest thing ever. And I was like, "Oh my God, I knew it. I knew it." He saw that. He was like, "Oh, I got to get me it." Listen, those old folks, they can't have enough hats, bro. You are, once you seen the linen outfit, listen, the last thing he needed from this was a cabaret to attend. And he would have been on the way. he was right there, bro. He just needed that invite.
With that joint on all night.
Oh man, but anyway, just to continue talking about the mall scene. So now church is out and everybody's in the mall, and you know that's when he runs into these little young knuckleheads trying to do their little viral shit, trying to joan on him and whatnot, and hurt my man Pop's pride, man. That shit hurt me, man. I was just like, man, I was never like that as a kid. No. But you know, that's the era we in now, where everybody's trying to find something to go viral if by the humiliation of somebody else. Listen, that's why I fully condone that bus driver that beat the shit out of that person that time. Listen, you know, and what was that in Cincinnati? I think. Listen, you fuck around with the wrong person, and you're gonna find out. And you know, it's very, very close there. Pop's Kurt at the end of the episode. It ain't gonna happen. Listen, that ain't gonna happen again to him in the mall. Just know that he might go back with vengeance, because as the synopsis say, listen, as the synopsis say, how do you still got beef from the 70s? And I know he's talking about the siblings here, but what's important here is telling you that old folks don't let go of shit at all, which is the other funny thing in this episode, because when they started talking about the siblings having tension with one another over something stupid, I was like, yep, ain't that the goddamn
truth. It'll be like that, yo. Oh my goodness.
Can't let shit go. Anyway, what you think about the Pops arc of this episode?
It's like I said, it's good to see Dad get a little bit more time. Like I said, you know, as we've seen previous in the show, Mom and Dad really haven't had any what's the word I'm looking for? Any character build? We don't really know anything about them. You know what I mean? Like, so we get a little bit more insight on their characters, and you know, kind of the stuff they go through, and him just wanting to have a freaking moment of peace on Sunday, and you know, not deal with the BS of his mom. And you can tell she's just controlling to a certain extent. She's got some stuff with her. She likes things a certain way. She wants people to view her a certain way. And you know, she, you know, all the family stuff aside, you know, she's got a lot of childhood traumas that she's dealing with even now. And they explain later in this episode, but he just wanted a moment of peace, man. He had 3 hours. He had a schedule. White woman held him up, made him buy a hat.
Now, don't blame her. Blame him. He wanted that hat. Listen. He had to try it on. He had to get the angles. It's a whole process, man. He had to make sure it tilted a certain way. You know, he had to figure these things out. She ain't hold him up.
Master 3000. You know what I mean? looking like he going to what's the old school? I'm about to say Silver Shadows, but that's one of them old clubs, man. Like, nah. But no, yeah. Like I said, just to get a little bit more insight on his character, man. It was nice to see. You know, Aaron's father. Like I said, as they bring the show to a close, like a lot of characters that's kind of in the circle. That's probably what you're going to see as we get into more of these episodes. More characters kind of get some type of insight or closure on their characters to a certain extent.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. Anyway, going back to Aunt Genie, she absolutely comes in the studio, kicks everybody out, says it's a family emergency. The family drama's there. Al already know what it is, and it just one thing to the next. She called the cops. The cops, they said don't call the cops. She calls the cops. She gets some three-way.
You see they put the weed away, right? Like you see what all the draw stuff they had on the table was gone.
Yeah.
Clean that up real quick.
They already knew. She called her siblings, and the drama and the tea started getting poured about like what's the issue. Listen, ain't no way you can kidnap your own daddy. That ain't happening. Then she started saying, y'all don't like me because I'm light skinned. They bust out laughing. Then they tried to hit her with the colorism where they were just like, hey, listen, you ain't going to be complaining if the cops come. She said, what? I'll call the cops. And she certainly did call the cops. And she went full blown Karen mode, man. She was snitching on everybody and saying like everybody need to be arrested. Like she was tripping. It was
her Al, man. Come on, man. Like,
yeah,
the most.
It was cool to see Cat Williams again too, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because he played another character, right? He played the alligator man dude.
Mm-hmm.
But that alligator. That was a different character, right?
No, he plays the same character.
Okay.
Yeah. So anywho, what else happened in this? So they get in the call, they start talking about it, and it's funny because he mentioned that she owed him $800, so she hung up the phone. Yeah, listen.
Start talking about money with family. Oh, you ain't getting no answer.
She's like,
now that I got you for a second, okay.
Mm-hmm. So overall, what do you think about this part of the episode now, before the cops come and all that?
Again, as very, very real, family character, like in the family, that person that the drama is only within your head. You know what I mean? It's only within yourself. Like nobody else has a problem but you. As her sister says, you're the evil one. The stuff that you're doing, this is all you. Don't nobody got no problem with you. Nobody got an issue with you being light skinned. You know what I mean? Like nobody can. And she even went as low to mention that daddy don't even remember you, yada yada. It got real quiet on the phone, and it was just like, all right, that was the last straw. This is an example of what we're talking about. What you be doing? Like you need to stop. Like it's not that serious. Like she was like, the whole family plotting against me, yada yada yada, and daddy the only reason mad because daddy loved me, and what? But you ain't got that man $800 though. You got that man $800.
Just tripping, bro. Just trying to find something to get some type of collateral on. But yeah, when they called the cops come and everything, like you said, everything was cleaned up and without. They said, "Hey, can you get your dad on the line?" This is so funny. It was like, "Hey, are you good? Are you safe?" He said, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm safe." They said, "Who are you with?" I said, "I'm with my daughter." And everything was good. And then my man Dementia kicked in. He said, well, "We're in Egypt, though. We've been here for 2 weeks." He said, "What? Would you? Hey, get off the phone."
She hung up that phone quick.
And her whole narrative changed. She said, "See, I told you they're in Egypt." I was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, man, I think we all got real family members like that, man. That I feel like the family either caters to or they try to avoid because it's always some drama that's specifically with them, or they have that one moment in time that they're just locked in forever, that they just can't let go. That always comes up at every function, any conversation, whatever it may be. It's the reason why they can't succeed in life, why they can't get nothing. They gonna bring it up, and then this is the perfect example of that moment. So
yeah. Anyway, in the studio now Al and Ern are trying to find a way out, and they say, "Hey, we got the Bobby Smurder exit here." They said,
"Yeah, the baby mother's looking for."
They said, "Yeah, that didn't work out good for us." They said, "Well, it might work out for you all." And they said, "Listen, walk out," which is just a side door, by the way, and just don't.
I thought it was gonna be an underground exit. Like
definitely not. They hyped it up way more than what it was, but it was funny. They walk out inconspicuous, and they didn't get caught.
Said it doesn't work if you don't go with it. You just got to keep walking and walk away.
Yeah.
That was wild. I can't believe they went incognito mode and that worked.
And then the last thing of the episode is obviously the last thing that happens on a Sunday with the family after church. You do finally get to eat at some point, and you goddamn well know that you know where you're going. You're going to that Great American Buffet, or you're going to what's the
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral. You know it is, and and you know somebody in your family going to have an issue, whether it's the person saying excuse me loud because they personally need something no matter who else is in the room,
Right.
or it's going to be something that just don't make sense. And it's, in this case, it was the bread. They didn't get bread, so they had to get bread to go. You can't even take food away from a buffet, which is the other funny thing. And I know it's a buffet. They may not show the buffet, but I 1,000% know it's a goddamn buffet that they went to.
Come on now. Steakhouse or like a Texas Roadhouse type thing?
Fuck no, that was a fucking buffet, bro. You can look around, and they also, you know, I should have looked. Did they have all the black people sitting together? Because you know they be doing that shit.
No, I don't think was it white people in there? I don't even think.
I know. I gotta go back and look at that. But so yeah, the issue with the bread, Pops Kirk and said, listen, get her the goddamn bread. Pops is pissed, obviously, because of what the kids did. You know, Ern picked it up. Something wrong with Pops. He's kind of mute right now.
Right.
But he wasn't having that shit. He had already been pissed. So he said, listen, get her the goddamn bread. Because she mad, he mad, everybody mad. Everybody, and nobody should be hangry right now because everybody done ate just for them to. And he said he taking a check. Don't nobody worry about it. He taking a goddamn check. Right. Hope he didn't buy anything. He got his phone, but he wasn't supposed to buy anything else. Although he got his hat, that hat's not going to see the light of day now because his pride hurt.
That's right, because he's retired too. He's retired. I think that plays a big factor in that too, because your son's basically rich. Your nephew is or whatever, his cousin, whatever the relationship is to them, he's rich, and I guess he's just kind of trying to feel some sense of normalcy by paying for the meal, you know, because he wants to be a man at the table, you know. But as you said earlier, he didn't have 30 years of dealing with the bullshit with her and her family. He out. Mm-hmm. It's not him. This is only day he ain't got to deal with it. He not in the house around her dealing with the nonsense. So this is just another example with this bread situation that he probably has to deal with on a daily basis. Like,
that's fact.
5 o'clock dinners, no way.
That's fact. That's fact. And the last thing he said, listen, we getting red box tonight. That's the end of the episode. That's the end of the episode. Oh my god. Anyway, I love this episode. This episode was absolutely hilarious. As much as it was traumatizing for all the experiences that I've been through that were completely on par and very much authentic to what happened in this episode. It was a fantastic episode. I could not stop laughing. I had a good time. What about you, sir?
Yeah, man. I think it really sparked off for me when Aunt Jean, judgy ass, made that comment about Aaron living in sin with his girlfriend. He'd be laying down.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you already know. When you go to church, they want to know all your business.
Talking about
that's what it was.
Cleanse your sins. You laying down with that pretty girl where you ain't going to church. Like, what?
Yep. You already know what it is. As soon as you step in front of the council of your family, you are subjected to all sorts of crimes, and they're going to let you have it.
But like you said, it's like church people. And then church people, like people that
church folks,
that church folk that live their life to the T and the word, like beyond what's actually expected, and then try to pass that upon other people. And this is an example of that here, especially, and you know, both his mom and her sister both kind of have that mindset about, you know, kind of judging people, like, oh yeah, are you doing this? Like when she made the comment about his hair. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you could have lit that on fire. It was lint trap, whatever it was. Like, just stuff like that. Like, that they be doing. They kind of just like, all right, I don't feel like dealing with this. And then he makes the comment to Al, like, yo, I ain't trying to get like that. Like, just to be beefing for 30 years. Like, nah, it's no way. So, but it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it.
Definitely. Well, folks, jump in the comments. Let us know your thoughts about episode 4 tonight. Light-skinned it of the final season of Atlanta. And we'll be back each and every week as we do what we do, bringing you a recap of each episode. So, yeah, we got it right this week. I know we messed up the last 2 weeks mixing up episodes, but this is absolutely episode 4. We're good. The previous reviews are out. Check those out. And we got much more coming to you throughout the entirety of this last season. So, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you back next week.